back to Shakhtar to Glory, episode 12 now. So we're really cranking through these episodes and getting through this season. A few more episodes now than I'd like to think this season will take, being it's quite a small division and focusing mainly on the Champions League now. So we should be wrapping this up fairly soon, depending how we do in the knockout stages. Before we continue, if you're enjoying my this content on this channel, please drop a like, please drop a sub. Any comments as well would be grateful. I'll reply to all of them whenever I can. So yeah, let's get back into the episode. So last time out we played Red Bull Salzburg in the penultimate group game in the Champions League. We did come out that game winners. It's 3-2. It was a little bit closer than I would have liked, but we had a comfortable lead. They sort of pegged us back quite late on, as I recall, but we got the 3 points and we got a guaranteed second place in the group. Seville won their game. I think it was against Basel, if I remember. Yeah, Basel, of course, which made them now. It's in a position we're the top two teams in the group. They're top, can't be caught. We're second, can't be caught. So we're both through to the next group stage, and the group sort of sits as it is. We have got them today, so it's a bit of a dead rubber game. I thought I would play it purely just because the draw should feature quite soon afterwards, if not a day or two after this game. So I thought I'd see that. We did have a brief, I think, glimpse at the group stages, the other groups, see who we could possibly be looking at getting, but so many of them are really, really tight, and they could literally be going anyway. So we didn't go too much into it because it's really going to be based on what happens today. So how have we gone in the league so far? We got a good, as you can see, we've won all 3 games. We beat Shakhtar Donetsk 3-1. We do have them, I think, in the cup a bit later on. Well, a few games later on. We're actually at the end of the season. It's back in April now, so it's a good wait. Was it the quarterfinal was in November, then the semi-finals in April. So God, who knows when the final is. It was a pretty drab first half against Shakhtar, but the second half sort of come to life. We've got a couple of goals there. Let's just have a quick peek at it. So Azevedo gave us the lead. We were 2-1 up through Romero. They pegged us back to 2-1, but we're never really in trouble. Romero sealed the win. A lot of shots again, not many on target, but if we're creating chances, shots, we're going to score a couple, especially if we get to convert a few of them more on target than not. That's not really more than not, but it's enough. It's 11 shots on target is enough to get a couple of goals generally in this division anyway. Champions League's a bit different. I think we did play the full team in that one pretty much. We rested from the Champions League game. We had 4 days to recover, so I rested a few players and they were good to go. Then we had Olympic Donetsk, and actually before this was a derby game as well, so it's a big game. But I think we played the full team, so we rested again. Had 3 days in between, but we rested again, knowing that we could rest against Kapati. But funny game. Before this game, the board actually set my targets and my budgets, etc., for next season, which is a bit silly. It's December. The season doesn't finish till March. I suppose it's 3 months before, but it's still a long way to go, so it's a bit silly. But my transfer budget was set again at 0. No way of changing it. So it looks like in the transfer window, January, about a month's time now, maybe the end of our season, who knows. There's probably has to be a bit of clearing out just to get some players in that I want and start moulding the squad myself into how I want it. There's a few that are wanted by big clubs, so we could maybe get some big money for them, but at the same time they're key players who I don't really want to see leave. The notable ones are Fred and Tyson, though Tyson is 29 years old, so if we can get a big fee for him, it may be tempting to cash in. He's not a natural in the position he plays. If I can get someone else in, perhaps from Brazil as well, or Argentina, that would be really beneficial. But so into this game, as you can see, we won 4-0. So very happy for the fans there. Happy game for the fans. Cerner gets on the score sheet. It was a really good driven finish. Not much to say about it really. Romero got another goal. He seems to be banging them in left, right, and centre at the moment. Rikitski added one, I think, from a corner, and then Ferreira in the dying moments. Again, 24 shots on goal. Only the 11 on target, but we restricted them to only 3 shots and none on target, so we were never in trouble in this game. Comfortable 4-0 win. And I think after this one, or it was maybe after the last game, Yeah, it was after the last game actually. I believe Dynamo Kiev actually slipped up again and drew 0-0. In fact, I think they might have done it after both games or two of the games in this three. They drew 0-0, which we'll see the league table in a minute. We did glimpse it at the start. We've kind of opened a fairly comfortable lead now. Extended a comfortable lead really. So the final game before Sevilla is Kapati. Probably saying it wrong. Karpati, something like that. No idea. Again, no shots on target for them. They're near the bottom. All three of these games were teams that were nearer the bottom than the top half of the table. We only had 3 shots on target, but we did score 2 of them. Both Marlos, but as you can see, it's a complete rotated team there. Marlos playing up front. He got a couple of goals. We did get a red card to Nilsson quite late. I think it was quite late on, and Ismaili did get injured again. 68. So we had enough to hang on for the game. The aim I was thinking was to play this sort of squad, really rotated, heavy rotation as much as I could, with what I've got registered against Sevilla. But after that performance, I don't think so. I think we just need to keep a bit of momentum in Champions League, bit of morale as where I can. Because this rotated squad, they didn't do great, but they still come out 2-0 winners. And I was expect us to beat any team, probably barring Dynamo Kiev, with this lineup. So yeah, there's a few players in here again who are probably in danger of going in the summer. Bernard, we could probably get a few bob for. Ferreira, maybe I can get better than him. Patrick doesn't really play, so he could be one. Dentinho, a few of the Brazilians, which also part of this challenge is to do the Champions League, but whilst maintaining a kind of Samba flair to the team. But if I can get players in who fit the mould of the team more and still be Brazilian, then that'd be ideal. Obviously, I'd have to get some sort of transfer money. If I sell all these players and then have no budget still, then it's going to be a real tough ask. So yeah, Kapati, gone through that though. Gone back through that there. So Marlos got the 2 goals. It was a late penalty there as well, 84 minutes. But the game was, it was secure. But it just made sure. And it was after this one that Kiev slipped. I think it was a 0-0 draw again. So if we look at the table, I think it's something like a 9-point lead or something. Yeah, exactly 9 points. So 8 goal difference in head. We are still unbeaten in the league. We have drawn that one game, which I think was Kiev. It was, and I think it was the opening game of the season, if I'm not wrong. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was the opening game of the season. And we were still finding our way a little bit with what we wanted to do. But yeah, comfortable. 9-point lead now. How many games is it? 20? Is it 20? I thought it was 20 games in the division, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A few more than that. Oh, it's 22, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, 22 games in the division. So we've got 5 games left. A few big ones. Obviously, ends with, if you saw there, Dynamo Kiev at the very end. But that will come down the line. That probably will, depending where the Champions League falls in. I think Champions League falls in before that does. That will be, depending how the Champions League goes, that could be our last game of this season before we skip into next season. But for now, we're gonna skip into the Sevilla game. I think we're ready to go, and I think I've got the tactic already. Yeah, so it's the usual lineup really. Azevedo's on the left. Ismaili is injured, but I think Azevedo is the better option there. Usual front 3, usual back 3, usual goalkeeper. Keeper's back now, Piotov. The fullbacks, like I said, Azevedo's the only possible alteration there. There's not much in it, so it could be one of those two. So it's not much to have Azevedo come in. It's absolutely fine. Usual suspects on the bench as well. I don't think we've got too many injuries. Obviously, Ismaili, as we mentioned. Butko's still out for, I think, a couple of months. 4 weeks and 2 months, yeah. The rest of them, a couple here that are unregistered. Ongenda is on his way back. I may just drop him on the bench for Lukanov, because he's not very good. So I'm going to save game. So from here we'll jump into the game. So here we are. Here's the lineup. So we've gone through our lineup, as you can see. We'll have a quick look at theirs. 4-2-3-1. From what I can tell, it's quite a strong team there. Muriel, I think I mentioned in the first game we played them. I love on FIFA. Did in last year's game as well, particularly. But Nzonzi there, Benega. I think it's their full strength team as well, or certainly up there with being one of their stronger lineups. So I think both teams have kind of gone into this with nothing to play for, but just sort of keeping a bit of respect going, a bit of form going, maybe. Despite the fact it's what we now. I think it's December. I think we completely lost track. We'll go passionate here. The knockout rounds I think start again in February, because obviously we're in February now, and Champions League is coming up, so that makes that sounds about right. So we kick off. First highlight comes to us. I have sped up the highlights a little bit just to try and get through the games a little bit more. It does look a bit overly fast, so I may consider changing it back at some point. Drop a comment in the comment section. I was just about to say if you do prefer slightly slower highlights, or if the faster ones are absolutely fine. But as that happens, 1 minute, same highlight, we go and concede. Muriel crosses the ball in, and is it Nolito, former Man City player, I think, of course, there, with the header, gives them 1-0 lead. Now, I'm not overly concerned. It's a home game. I'd like to get a respectable result. If we lose, we lose. I just don't want to lose too much. But it'd be nice to get a draw or a win here, just to keep the form going. I don't think the league will hamper us too badly, because I think we'll still have enough in the league to get any form back up by February. But yeah, it'd be nice in the Champions League just to keep it going. And as we mentioned, not having too bad of a game, we go 2-0 down with the second highlight of the game, which is theirs. And is it Nolito again? I mean, we're in the game. It's a fairly even game. They're probably just doing a little bit more with their shots. It's Nolito down to Sarabia. I signed him back on FM18, I think, and he was immense for my Real Madrid team in that game. Muriel is injured. So there is another highlight here. 35 minutes on, looks like it's going our way. Hopefully, Romeo's in and he buries it. This guy wow, what a signing! I don't know if they still have signing of the season in this game. I know they used to. I mean, I'm going back to the old Championship managers here. Signing the season, it used to be. I think it used to be in there as a league in total and in general, and it used to be a thing. I don't know if it still is, but if it is, he's in for it, isn't he? Just before half time, there's another highlight. It looks like it's going their way. We do win it back, but give it back again. We're closing down, and we win it back. And can we break here? Romeo, he's back through again, and he just dribbles a shot wide. Not great. Doesn't score. Just as I say, he scores every time he misses. And we're just gonna fade into half time, I think, here, unless there's one more chance. No, I think that's gonna be it, fading into half time. Or is it? Tyson through. Stepanenko, can he unleash one? Cerner, Tyson finds Azevedo, and just before half time we level it 2-2. What a turnaround. We look to be dead and buried, 2-0 down. Is that a little sort of a couple of little back heels, a little bit of flair play going on here. And it finds Azevedo, the left wing back, of course, getting into the box and finishing it off great. He did actually score in one of the 3 games I mentioned, and it was like a cross, and the keeper came out and it looked like he got fouled, but it wasn't given, and it just floated over his head and went in. And I think it was a game. No, they're all pretty comfortable games, so it wasn't an overly like crucial, I don't think, goal, but it was weird to see in the highlights. So with the team talk, we're going to go with Ferreira isn't happy, so we might have to look at hauling him off. My voice is going again a little bit. It's really shocking. I feel like I'm coming down from another cold. They just seem to be ongoing. I don't know. I mean, I used to get a lot of colds and coughs when I was younger, and I haven't had any for about a year, maybe 2 years. And Romero, it's offside. Didn't have any for about 2 years maybe, and it just seems since I've moved, I don't know if it's the commute I'm on now, if there's the train's just a little bit dirtier or something. I'm not, the people on them maybe, who knows, I'm not too sure. Not as hygienic, I'm not too sure, but I just seem to keep feeling run down with them, and it just seems to keep appearing. I'm not too sure why. And there's another highlight here. It's on the hour. Tyson's on the ball. He loses out to Vasquez. Is it the Vasquez that plays for Real Madrid? Not too sure. They're knocking it around quite nicely here. I mean, Sevilla are a really good team. Also, they've won the Benjeda there. They're playing it around quite nicely. They're not rushing it. They're just knocking it about. But like I say, and Benjeda scores. Of course, he does. Sevilla obviously won the Europa League, was it? Yeah, Europa League. A couple. Did they win it 2 years on a bounce? I'm not too sure. They've won it a couple of times though in the recent history. So stepping up to the Champions League, they're not an easy team, but they are. Well, you can see they're 18 points out of the group. I mean, that's remarkable. We do need to think about making some changes soon. There's a few jaded players out there. I do want to try and keep some players fit and healthy. I am training Marlos as a wing back, so I may do that and switch Cerner to the right, as the left rather. We're going to give on Gender a bit of game just to give him some minutes. Probably for Ferreira's had a bit of a stinker and he wasn't happy at half time, was he? So we'll drop him out. Cerner should probably be coming out as well, but don't really have anyone for him. So we'll bring Stepanenko out and bring Alan Patrick in. Give him a game. See if he can create something. And we get a highlight here, but they win it back and turn it over. And it just seems like they're going to go and dominate this game now. There's another highlight. We got Isars again on Gender down the side, down the wing. Oh, and we hit the post by the looks of that. Could have tied it back 3-3 and been a really nice, respectful result. But I mean, we've had 3 shots on target and scored 2. I mean, it's not good enough. And that's the end of the game. So, like I say, start the game, dead rubber. It's a respectful, okay, we've lost 3-2. We've lost 3-2 to a very good Seville team. And I've done it again, and I've let the assistant do it. It's only Marlos that's upset, so not too big a deal. I'll let him carry on. So the draw, let's see, is the draw... We'll have a quick look at the groups and see. So we've got a Barcelona potential, we've got Man City potentially, we've got Napoli, Man United, Real Madrid, PSG and Chelsea. Wow. Not one of... I mean, I say not one of them, there could be a few that are underdogs in the group there. Obviously Juventus could have won the group. There's a few tough groups there, but really all those teams that have finished top are amazing teams. So Champions League is on the 11th, so it's only about a week away from today, so we'll come back for that. I'll click through. We have actually got a game there, so we'll play the style game. I've played the league game and we're here now at the Champions League draw for the first knockout round. Before we jump into that, let's have a quick look how we got in that league game. It was comprehensive. It was a 6-0 win against Stow, who I think were their 4th. They were they were first for a little while to start the season. We beat them, and I think they kind of slipped, and they've held a sort of 3rd, 4th around them, but 3rd is pulling away. 1st and 2nd was kind of a battle. Now it's really 1st. We're on our own little race with ourselves, really, just to get as many points as we can and get as far ahead as we can. Kiev are kind of fairly comfortable in 2nd. 3rd is kind of set. 4th, 5th, 6th, it kind of opens up a little bit, and then sort of the few places below it's fairly open, and Olympic and Verez look to be a little bit off the distance, certainly of the secure space of 9th place. Kiev did win comprehensively well against Olympic Donetsk. They won 5-1, I think, but we won where are we 6-0. Some good news and some bad news in this game. So we obviously won the game comprehensively. We could have had a few more. We had a disallowed goal. We hit the post and bar, I think, twice. The big news there, though, is that Tyson probably won't be going anywhere in January. He picked up an injury, and he's going to be out for 2 to 3 months with hip injury. He's got to see a specialist, so he's going to miss. But I think he should be back. He may make it back for the Champions League games, because we have just gone on our mid-season break, and if we look back at the schedule, the next game is actually the Champions League game on the 13th of February. So whoever we draw here now, we will be playing. I don't know if it's home or away yet. We'll get that in the draw. So whoever we will be playing next. So I haven't got to skip too far. The game will just hopefully skip. I can get through the transfer window. I'm probably not going to be signing anyone. Just putting it out there because we've got no money unless we sell. But I don't really want to sell in January because we're not going to get anyone in, probably of the quality we need. Certainly for Champions League campaign. The league, I think, is it's getting to the point where it's we've probably one win away in the league from winning it, securing it. So it's just the Champions League, and we need to do as as well as we can. So we'll get into the draw. We'll do the automatic draw. I don't know whether we're coming out first or second here. So Liverpool come out first. I think they come second in the group, so we're in the first pot. We'll play home first. So Real Madrid's out. Man City are gone. Man United are gone. Barcelona are gone. That's a big one. Napoli are gone. That probably would have been one of the more favourable ones. Sevilla we obviously couldn't get. Here's who we get. PSG. Wow. They, apart from Barcelona perhaps, maybe Real Madrid, possibly one of the toughest games we could have got. I mean, just look at those three players. Their captain, their vice captain, their key player. And that's also not taking into account people like, I think Mbappe's there. It says he joins on the 1st of July 2018, but I'm pretty sure he's there. Yeah, it's because he's on loan, isn't it? So did they sign anyone or sell anyone? They loaned someone out. So the team is the team that start the game with, but obviously it's a very strong team, and we are going to do very, very Angel Di Maria, Lucas Moura, who obviously of course just joined Tottenham in real life, Cavani, some fantastic players there. We are going to, that's probably as tough as it could have got, like I say, apart from Barcelona, maybe Real Madrid. Man City, Man United I would have fancied having a good bit of a go at, but PSG, wow. We need to try and do as much as we can in that home leg and just see what we can do, sort of claw on. I do like playing the away legs, particularly with this tactic. I'm using it on, like I said, I've used it before in my Arsenal's offline save, and I do find I did win the Champions League in the second season of that save, and in the knockout stages away from home we were a little bit ropey, but the home legs usually second. We usually played the home leg second, but they usually brought us through, and I was able to turn around a deficit or a draw and usually thump them at home, in fact. But away we just were a little bit iffy. So obviously this, if it works the same way in this now, which I'm not too sure if it did with Shakhtar in the group stages, because obviously we lost to Sevilla, but the other teams were kind of easy-ish, air quotations, games. So it's a bit of a tricky one to say. But yeah, so we'll come back for episode 13. It will be against PSG, and we could be looking at, without being too unoptimistic, too pessimistic rather is the actual word for it, we could be looking at the end of our Champions League campaign. I'm not quite sure we're ready to compete with a team of this stature just yet, but we'll see. So until next time, I'll see you later.